In 1978, a comms department intern heard the hotline ring and picked it up, going against every safety protocol in the manual. She never recovered, and the handful of witnesses required extensive memory repression therapy. It is a phone. It's an object of power. It doesn't connect to any typical network. A direct line to the astral plane and the board. And my hypothesis is, under the right conditions, to other planes of existence as well. Our very own Ouija board. Only the director can answer it safely, and what he hears is kept classified.
Hi guys, Captain TigerLily here, and today we're going to talk about Control. I first want to start off by saying thank you to everybody who watched me play through Control. I had so much fun with it. I think you guys could kind of tell as I was playing through that I was like legitimately enjoying the game. I have never been so into the lore in a game before that I have personally played through this much, other than maybe like Resident Evil, just because I'm obsessed with the Resi games. But I have started to get to that point now with Remedy and their whole connected universe. So I'm excited to see what they come up with in the future. But let's talk about Control today. But before we get started on that, if you guys like the video at any point during the video, hit the like button down below, hit the subscribe button if you guys want to see more videos from me, hit the notification bell, and share the video around to anybody you think might enjoy watching me talk about my final thoughts on the game and going through and seeing some gameplay of me playing through the game while I'm up in the little corner over here. So let's start off with talking about some of my favorite locations. The oldest house itself. It's one of those locations where when you get into the game, you're not really sure what to expect at first, because you see, like, from our opening cutscene, we kind of get like this office style building, and you're like, okay, we're just going to be having a spoopy game in an office building. But it's so much more than that. And I love that it's so much more than that. I like that you don't really know what you're getting yourself into. If you don't know anything about what you're jumping into with this, you really just don't have any kind of indication of what this is going to be. And I really like that. I think the other thing that I really liked about playing through and being in the oldest house is that each section of the oldest house has like its own feel. So when you're in Central Executive, especially when you're in like the main room in Central Executive, like it becomes like a safe haven. Nothing's coming in there. The only thing that's going to happen in there is you interacting with like Arish and Emily, and then later on Dylan. Like, you're going to get a lot of like those more like take a breather kind of moments. And I liked that we got that, especially in that particular section. Now, the astral plane was not what I expected. And it had a bigger role than I anticipated it having. So I really, really liked that a lot of like us dealing with the altered items or having to like heal a section essentially and like close big problem areas was taking place in the astral plane. I really liked that. One of them I didn't. And that was in the quarry. I did not like Black Rock at all. That freaked me out completely. And those damn hiss ball things, the spiky ball things, I still do not remember what they're called. I don't like them. I don't like that you can't kill them. That's my biggest problem, is I do not like that you can't kill them. But whatever. Now, one of the other places that I did think was kind of cool, but it also, like, even though I know technically nothing can like get you in there, Ocean View freaked me out, especially the first few times going through there, because it gave me very much of like a liminal space feel, and I don't like that. I do not like the liminal space feeling. Like, ugh, it freaks me out. I can't do backrooms shit, okay? I just can't. I will never play the backrooms game on this channel. It's not happening. But I really did like how Ocean View felt especially the further on you get, and especially in the AWE DLC that you're getting like peeks into what's happening with Alan Wake. So that was really cool. Now, as for the rest of the maintenance sector, like, yes, I didn't really like the quarry, but the rest of the maintenance sector was actually kind of cool. I did like that you got to go through and you were doing a lot with like all of the power supply and all of that back and forth. And I think it kind of gave it a really, like, industrial kind of feel in an area that you wouldn't think would have an industrial kind of feel, especially getting into what the rest of the oldest house has. Like, the containment sector felt very, like, it felt very prison-y, which obviously was the intent, but it had a unique, way of, like, making you feel like everything was both very wide open and very claustrophobic. And I don't know how they did it, but it was really cool. Now, research. I have a love-hate relationship with research, okay? Like, the area itself looks super, super cool. I love that it has a lot more, like, it has a lot more brightness to it, especially in a lot of bigger open areas. But it also made me uneasy the entire time I was in there. Like, especially going down to like the mold area. I hate the mold so much. And I still have not gone down and dealt with the multi-headed mold thingy. I don't really want to. Like, I know I probably get some cool shit for it, but I really just don't want to go do it. So that might be a future video / streamy thing that I do at some point. Okay? I don't really want to do it right now. I just don't. Anyway, we're gonna move on. I did, however, enjoy the feeling that I got from the investigation sector. I didn't expect it. And that's what I liked about it, is that it was so dark and creepy. And when you have Hartman like floating around the whole time and you're not entirely sure where he is at first, I loved that. I thought it was super, super cool. I kind of got a little annoyed with Langston towards like the end of him talking, but it wasn't too bad. It was more just a kind of a, oh my god, dude, just shush. It wasn't like a, dude, shut the fuck up right now kind of feel. So he wasn't terrible. But I really, really liked it. One thing I didn't like. So y'all remember when we were going through Central Executive and we were doing the whole mailroom thing and we had to fight Tomasi, right? First fight with Tomasi, not too bad. Not too bad at all. I didn't hate that fight at all. However, I now have PTSD from the dang turntables from how many times I had to go fight Tomasi again. You guys didn't get to see it all on screen. I fought him at least 15, 16 times. I don't even remember now. I fought him so many times. Probably more than that, if I'm being honest. That was me after losing track of approximately 15 times. It was probably more. That fight was a pain in my ass. It didn't even take me that long to beat Hartman. Okay? That fight with Tomasi was just so frustrating. And I think the thing about it that frustrated me the most was the fact that once I would get up onto the top and then they would start floating up along with Tomasi, that's where I kept hitting the problems. The rest of it wasn't too bad. And I had to be very particular about like when I would shield and when I would throw stuff and, you know, that kind of thing. Like, it was I had feelings about that fight. The other part that I really, really hated was in the Foundation. Like, I absolutely hated being stuck in the astral plane down there in the Foundation. Also, I hated those guys that throw the pickaxes at you. They're fucking annoying. They're so annoying. Also, don't like the screamy witch ladies that spew shit out at your face. Like, the explodey ones I'd figured out by now. But the ones that, like, spew things out at you, That was new. Did not like that. I loved the Marshall fight, though, however. I was really hoping there would have been a way to save her, but as soon as I saw that pillar and I saw her lit up, I was like, oh no, they got Marshall. They got her. Sad. I will say, I almost wish there had been a fight with Casper. Like, I almost wish there had been a fight with Darling. That would have been really good. It would have been really, really cool. But it is what it is. Now let's talk about some of my favorite characters. First off, Emily Pope, best girl, and we love her, okay? She's a little bit over the top gung-ho about her research sometimes, but you know what? You do you, babe. We love you. Honestly, she really is. And every time we got to go back and talk to her, it was kind of like a breath of fresh air or relief from all of the chaos of outside of Central Executive. And the same thing again with Arish once he comes back. Being able to just kind of like chill and talk to him helped me, I think, be able to get through the game without going a little bit stir crazy. Obviously, Langston kind of has his whole thing going on with the Panopticon and him keeping everything contained, which I didn't hate that, but he wasn't really one of my favorites. I wish we'd gotten more of Marshall. I just wish we'd gotten to know more about her. We got to interact with her a little bit more. That would have been really, really nice. Unfortunately, we didn't get that. Also, if you guys see me looking to the side, I have notes. So that's what I'm doing. There's two other characters that I wish we'd gotten to see a little bit more of. One I think is going to be kind of a given, and the other is kind of a wild card for me. First of all, I wish we'd gotten to see more with Dylan. And the reason being, I just don't think we had enough of a build-up and enough of like a tie between Jesse and Dylan for it to feel as realistic of her wanting to go help him, wanting to go save him in any way that she could. I think if we had gotten a little more, I think if we'd gotten a little more between the two of them at any point later on, I think it would have been better. That's just a personal thing, but I'm very into like character and story driven games, so getting a lot of character interaction and like enough of a feeling of wanting to go do a thing because we love this person draws me in more. And that's not to say that it didn't, and it's not to say that they did it poorly. It's just I would have liked to see more of that, and I think it would have been more impactful in the end if we had gotten more between Jesse and Dylan and just more about Dylan in general before we got to the end. But that's just a personal preference. That's elbow on desk. Not pleasant. But that's just a personal thing. Not everybody is going to feel the same way about that as me. Obviously, I understand that. It's just my personal thoughts on the game. Now, the one I would have wanted to see more of is actually the former. And I have a very specific reason for it. I need answers about what the hell it is, where it came from, and why the board doesn't like it. Like, I kind of get it, I think, but I don't know. So, I have so many questions. So there are three big things that I need to know about the former. One, why it, like, from everything that I gathered from in the game, the former used to be a part of the board. For some reason, the former was then kicked out of the board and like blamed for something that happened, I guess. I wonder, and because we got a lot more about like Dr. Ash and Northmore at the time, I'm wondering if it was potentially the former that sent him the service weapon as kind of like an FU to the board, and that's what got him kicked out, or vice versa, he got kicked out and then sent the service weapon as an FU. I don't know. Or I don't know. I have so many questions about that whole interaction. So why, like, what happened and why to get the former kicked off the board? Two, what exactly is the board in relation to the oldest house and the astral plane, and like what is their main goal? And 3, if you noticed at the end of the Foundation DLC, when we're walking up that path to get out, the former is back there in the pillars, not in the astral plane. And he had only ever shown up in the astral plane. So does that mean he escaped? Like, is he just loose in the world now? Like, is the former just loose in the world and we're gonna meet him again in Control 2? I have so many questions. I need answers. What? Ah! Like, his design is really cool. It's very creepy, and that's partly why I like it, is that it is so creepy. I'm sorry, my hair and I are having a disagreement today, apparently. It's still slightly damp from my shower this morning, and it doesn't want to do anything. So it's just gonna stick out everywhere. Cool. But, like, his design is super cool. Or its design is super cool. And it just... The single eye, obviously, we like that. The legs that popped out later, that was creepy, and I loved it. Like, yes, in the moment I was freaking out, but, like, when I was watching through editing and everything after that, and every interaction was like, this thing's actually super cool. I really liked it. I just have so many questions about the former. I really do. I also have a lot more questions about Hartman than I thought I was going to. Like, obviously we got a lot of answers in the Alan Wake DLC, but like, what? Like, holy crap, whatever happened to him, that sucks, man. That really sucks. Now, I will say, and I talked about this a little bit earlier, I don't know what happened with the Astral Plane and the Foundation DLC. How the hell did I keep getting stuck in that same stupid fight? How? I don't get it. That was so irritating. That was one of the... I think that was literally the only time in the entire game that I contemplated quitting. Like, I got very close to putting the game down for like several weeks and not coming back to it. I was really irritated. And I don't know why I struggled so much with that particular section of the game. I don't know if it was designed to be that way or if it was just me struggling really, really bad, but my God, was it awful. I hated that. Don't want to go back and do it again. I hope I got everything in that area because I don't want to go back. Now, I want to talk about a few of my favorite moments. Like, not specifically sections, but favorite moments in the game. And I don't want this video to go on for like an hour, hour and a half, just because it's so much. And I did talk a lot about things that I loved as I was playing through the game. So this is just kind of like the things that still have stuck out with me even now. But the first one of those is I really, really loved all of like Jessie's conversations in her head with Polaris, and all of the like back and forth between in-game and live recorded of Courtney Hope, of like those cutscenes. That was so good. I loved those moments. Those were really, really good. And I'm excited to see where they might take that for Control 2, because I think they have a lot that they could build on with that for Control 2. So hopefully Control 2 will again be from Jessie's point of view, because it's kind of like her spin-off, kind of. It's like, this is her world. Alan Wake has his stuff, you know, and then there's the Max Payne games. Like, everything that Remedy's done, like, each game seems to very much have like its own core central like cast, and then they have like branching off crossovers. So I'm hoping that Control 2 will be focused very heavily again on Jessie, and I kind of hope that there'll be a way to like bring Dylan back into the mix. And I don't know if that's going to be included with, since from what I've heard, Control 2 is supposed to be multiplayer, or it's supposed to be co-op. So if that is the case, I will be playing, fingers crossed, the entirety of the game here on the channel with my brother, because he's just about as big of an obsessive fan with it as I am. He's the one that told me to play in the first place, so props to you, Atlas. This is a great choice. So hopefully we will be playing that together on the channel. I hope so. I don't really have anybody else that would want to play this game with me, to be honest, in my outside of YouTube life. So I hope. But anyway, yeah, I loved those moments. I also really loved the whole bit at the end when you get to the big Hedron ball thing and you had to open it up. Or like it ended up opening up. I don't even remember now. But that whole moment that led into like Endgame, I was like, I'm not prepared. But I loved it. It was so well done. That whole end section was just so well done. I also really, really loved the Marshall fight. I thought that was really good. And I thought it was kind of cool that essentially the former was sending you people to help you. And I didn't realize that was him doing that until later on when I realized they were different than the regular Hiss. And I was like, oh, it's not me getting like Astro Buddies helping me. It's the former sending buddies to help me. Okay, this is cool. So that was pretty great. And I realized after a while that I wasn't using a lot of the abilities that you get as often as I'm sure a lot of people were. And I used weapons that I know a lot of people didn't. Like, I kept the grip on for pretty much the entire time. I liked the was it the shatter? I'd have to look at the forums again, but the automatic one, I used that a lot. And then I used the essentially the grenade launcher one. I liked that one a lot. That was really good. I didn't like the shotgun like one. I did not. I don't like using those type of weapons most of the times in games. And I didn't like how it was designed in Control very much. Not for my playstyle, so it was just not a personal favorite for me. I will say I liked the amount of lore that we got for the Alan Wake expansion one. I really liked that DLC. That was really good. And I liked that we didn't have like a full-on, flat-out explain everything right away and then go into it. It was like you were stumbling across information as you played through. And the more that you played through an area, the more you would learn about Hartman and what happened and everything going on with the whole Alan Wake everything. So I did like that. That was really good. I'm going to tell you two of my least favorite things, and then I'm going to tell you my absolute favorite thing that I loved about the game. I mean, it's not like my favorite, but it's like my favorite like little moments that would happen. I hated Threshold Kids so much. If you've ever seen the movie Clue, flames on the side of my face. I hated Threshold Kids. It's so creepy. Oh, I hated it. And like, I'm not the kind of person that has issues with claymation movies and stuff. Like, I love Leica movies and stuff like that. I love claymation stuff. I think it's so cool. Something about Threshold Kids made me want to throw things and throw up in my mouth, and it was just bad. I hated it. I don't ever want to deal with it again, so I really hope there's not more Threshold Kids in Control 2. The other thing that I both loved and hated was every time we got one of Casper Darling's little video clips. I loved them because I love Matthew Peretta, and I think he did such a good job just playing up Casper's like weirdness and quirkiness, and how he very much has like the scientist mindset versus like an on-screen personality. But I also kind of hated it because I'm not the kind of person who can watch cringe for fun. Like every time something gives me like cringy vibes or it gives me secondhand embarrassment, I have to turn it off. And I was like, I can't. because it's part of the game. So there were some moments there where I was just like, oh god, it's so awkward. I can't do it. Oh, and I had to. I hated that. But I think overall, my favorite moments of the game had to do with the music. And for those of you who know, before I'd even played the game, I had become a very big fan of Poets of the Fall. Which, the cat's about to leave us, I think. Maybe? No? She's just stretching? Okay. So stumbling upon that song in the research sector, yeah, she is gonna leave, was so good. I didn't expect that. And honestly, Dark Disquiet, which is that song, is one of my favorite songs by Poets of the Fall. And their in-universe name is, what is it? Old Gods of Asgard. And so later on, when we were going through the maze section, which is one of the coolest sections in the game, like by far, one of the coolest designs, one of the coolest like setups for it, and the fact that you just have this metal blaring in the background, amping you up through the whole thing is so good. I didn't even hardly have time to like take it all in while I was playing in there, but like, oh my god. And the song being played in the background is Take Control. So good. She's gone. And it was just so well done. And like Jessie's sentiment at the end when she takes off the headphones is like, that was awesome. I'm like, hell yes it was. Are you kidding me? That was the best part that we had been through in the entire game. That was so good. Oh my god. Honestly, more games could take note from Remedy on that one. Give us moments like that. Give us moments where you just hype the crap out of the player character and the player at the same time. And just let him fucking go. Like, it was so good. Oh my god. It's amazing. So well done. I loved it. I loved it so much. I could gush for hours about this game. I really could. But I don't want this to get too much longer. It's already going to be about a half an hour long. At least, if not longer. But anyway. I'm hoping that when I do get around to playing Alan Wake 2, that you guys will want to stick around and watch me play through that. And from everything I've heard, it's scarier. Not looking forward to that. Like, I love horror stuff, but I'm more of like, I like to consume it, not play through it myself. For a lot of it. Which is why I haven't played any of the more recent Five Nights at Freddy's games, or Bendy and the Ink Machine, or Bendy and the Dark Revival, like the second one. I played through the first one ages ago, but like I haven't played through a lot more, like a lot of the newer indie horror, because I prefer to watch through to kind of like absorb the surroundings and absorb the game, because when I'm playing it, I'm very focused on gameplay and survival and like not really taking in a lot of the surrounding bit of the game. So this could be a little bit of a back and forth for me on Alan Wake 2. I don't know, but we'll figure that out when we get there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching me play through all of Control. I had a blast playing through the game, and once we get better internet, fingers crossed it'll be soon. It was supposed to be last year, and then it never happened, and they told us this year, and now they're telling us it might be next year. I'm very upset. I would like faster internet so I could stream. I want to stream Control. I want to go back and stream more Cult of the Lamb, because there's been DLCs and updates and all kinds of things. And I have a lot of other games that I would rather play on stream versus recording, just because they lend themselves more to streaming and being able to interact with people as I'm streaming, that kind of thing. But anyway, that's neither here nor there right now. But I do want to go back and play more of Control, and I would like to stream it if I can, because I think that would be fun to have you guys along for the ride with me while I'm playing through it. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know down in the comments. But but I think I'm going to leave my final thoughts here. And if you guys haven't played through Control yet, and you guys think that you might enjoy it now that you've seen me play through it, even if you didn't watch the whole thing, you just watched bits and pieces, highly, highly recommend playing through Control. It was so much fun. I had an absolute blast with it, and I really, really hope that the second game is as good, if not better. And I have high hopes for Alan Wake 2 now. I had no idea what to expect from Remedy going into the game, and they have blown all of whatever expectations I might have had at the beginning out of the water completely. And I am a ride or die Remedy fan. Okay, I think they are one of the top tier game studios that has come out with a AAA quality game without having a massive studio behind them. Like, don't get me wrong, Remedy's big, but like, they're nothing like any of the really, really big studios that just kind of pump out the same crap. Okay? And it's not to say that like Sony and Bethesda and like all these other bigger games that the studios don't come out with good stuff. It's just that it's the care and the attention to detail and story and game creation that Remedy has that I think a lot of other studios could learn from. So they've got my love forever. And Sam Lake, you quirky, weird genius, keep at it, man. Holy crap. God, he's so good. He's so funny. Unintentionally so, and I love it. But if you guys even have the slightest inkling that you might enjoy Control, the link is down in the description if you guys want to play it for yourselves. Get the Ultimate Edition because it comes with the DLCs, and you can play those right after you finish the main game. You could do them in either order. Story-wise, my brother, who was kind of giving me pointers along the way and kind of helping whenever I get stuck, I would ask him, like, hey, what do you suggest that I do here? How can I get through this section? He said to play it in the order that I did, which was Foundation DLC first and then AWE DLC. So I would suggest playing it in that order because I think it plays out a little better. But if you want more of a, this is going to sound weird, if you want more of a better finish to it, I would do it the other way around, honestly. And the reason I'm saying that is because I don't think that the ending of the Alan Wake expansion one gives you as much of like a finite finish to the oldest house and that story itself. So I think if you played the Alan Wake one first and then went back and played through the Foundation, I think that might be a little more satisfying of an ending. So that's just my personal suggestion. You don't have to do it that way. You can do it either order. Doesn't matter to me. I'm just saying my personal suggestion would be play through the AWE one first, and then the Foundation if you want a more satisfying finish. If you want to play it more like story-wise of how it technically plays out a little bit better, then do Foundation and Alan Wake expansion. But it just depends on which ending you want more to it. If you want more lore at the end to fill in like story gaps, play it the way I did. If you want a more satisfying ending that feels a little more complete to like the oldest house story, play it flipped. That's just my personal opinion. I'm going to leave the full playlist on the screen here of Control if you guys want to watch from the beginning, if you missed some episodes, or if you want to see everything all in order from start to finish of everything that I play through in the game. It's all there in order. And hilariously, if you look at it now with this one added, it's technically 69 episodes. Because it was 68 with a 0.5 in the middle, so it's technically 69. So nice. But anyway, I'm also going to leave the playlist so far for BioShock, the remaster of BioShock 1 on the screen here. If you guys want to check that out, that's what's taken the place of Control now that we're done with that game on the channel. So if you guys want to go check that out and see me get the crap scared out of me because we're underwater and I don't do water, that's all going to be right there. So, if you guys like this video, hit the like button down below. Hit the subscribe button if you guys want to see more videos from me. Hit the notification bell, that way you guys know when new videos go live. And share this video around to anybody else you think might be interested in my thoughts on Control. You can share the playlist around to anybody you think might enjoy watching me play through the game. And that being said, I'm Captain TigerLily, and I will see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye!